Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamers. Say, what's the difference between a lawnmower and a bagpipe? You can tune a lawnmower. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at Braveheart Solitaire, 2nd edition from Worthington. We'll get back to the review in just a moment. I want to take a minute to ask you to check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about history, books on history, military history. I even post some of my lectures for my classes on there. Please check that out. Please subscribe to that channel. And now, back to the review. In Braveheart Solitaire, 2nd edition from Worthington, the player takes on the role of the Scots as they fight in either the Battle of Falkirk or the Battle of Bannockburn against the hated English. Now, this is a book war game, so you are, of course, required to get the book, but you also need a pencil and a die in order to play the game. So how the game is played is essentially you pick the battle you want to play, and you have a number of actions that correspond to the different units on the board. Now, these units tend to be different shapes, indicating what kind of units they are. You also have, in the case of a lot of your infantry, you have these Shiltern circles beneath them that you can use to fill in to indicate whether or not that's the formation that they have taken. Now, in this game, you have 18 turns to achieve victory. Now, usually your victory conditions, depending on the battle, are eliminating a number of enemy units completely, and if you lose a number of enemy units first, then you are defeated. But essentially, you've got 18 turns to achieve victory, so on your turn, you would write the number of the turn beneath one of these action boxes. Now, these action boxes say, okay, this unit attacks this unit, or this unit attacks this unit. And before you actually launch your attack, then you must actually roll to see what the English do. You roll to see what the English do, and on the top part of the book, there is kind of the bot menu, for lack of a better word, where when the number comes up, you can see what the English are doing. They're attacking you, they're, shooting you with archers, they're coming right at you. And then you, of course, have to roll that. You have to respond to that. And if you take any hits, you put an X through one of your units. If they take hits, you put an X through one of their units. Once you've resolved that, and there can be different things that come of that, there can be different tactics that pop up depending on what you roll. There could be all sorts of kooky things that happen. But then you go ahead and you roll your die for your attack, and then you see how that plays out. Again, you compare it to the kind of the battle board there, the die board, and it tells you who gets hits. Now, all things considered, you want to roll high. When you roll high, your enemy gets hits. When you roll low, you get hits. When you roll in the middle, you both take hits. Now, as I say, you have these Shiltrons that you can, this formation you can go into. And you actually do that at the beginning of your turn. You select if you want to put a specific unit into a Shiltron, you fill in its circle. If you want to bring it out of a Shiltron, you kind of put a cross through the next circle, put a line through the next circle, and you can keep doing this. Now, the reason why you do this is if you're in Shiltron, you essentially, your infantry are more able, they're more ready to take an attack from the enemy knights. If the enemy knights come at you, they don't get any kind of a bonus. If you're not in Shiltron, they get essentially a -1 bonus. But the problem is, if you're in Shiltron and the archers attack you, you get different kinds of attacks, then you actually can take more damage. You're more susceptible to those kinds of attacks. So it's a toss-up. What do you think? Do you want these people prepared to meet the knights, or do you want them to face attacks from these other quarters? There's a few other things you can do. You can do a Scots charge. You can essentially get a +1 DRM by doing that. You can also activate your leaders. You've got William Wallace, I think it's Falkirk, and King Robert at Bannockburn. And essentially, they can allow you to do actions that have already been filled up, so you can have more of a shot at doing that. And then there's some other bonuses that can come with using leaders. But you're going ahead, you're going back and forth, you're attacking the English are attacking you, and if you can succeed in eliminating enough of their units, and the right units that are called for in that scenario, then you win! Braveheart Solitaire, 2nd edition. So this, of course, is another of these Worthington book games that I've been playing lately, and I really enjoy them. And one of the reasons why I enjoy them is because they're not too long. You can just pick it up, play through one in like 20 minutes, maybe a little longer. But they're not long games. They're great. I'm just looking for something to do, and I want to play a game, but I don't want to set up a massive game on my table. These things just scratch an itch because they're so quick, and yet they're fun, and there's some real dopamine you're getting out of those die rolls. But again, it's almost total luck, right? Because it's die rolls. Now you get to pick where you're going to attack. It's true, but the die rolls indicate exactly what happens here. The die rolls indicate there's not a lot you can do to mitigate the die rolls. And like in the case of the Shiltrons, again, it's 50-50. I don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to attack me with knights? Are they going to attack me with archers or infantry? I don't know. And so I kind of feel like that aspect of the game is kind of weird because there's nothing you can do. So it's more likely we're going to get attacked here. I guess maybe if you can take out enough of their you know, knights early on, you can make a kind of an educated decision about what's going to happen. But other than that, it's just kind of 50-50. Now, so that's my only really complaint here, though. The fact of the matter is, I love the stories that these book games tell. I love to see the battle unfold. And yes, it's a lot of luck, but it's still a lot of fun. Sometimes you feel more like an observer than a participant, but it's still fun. If this game were, 2 hours, no, it wouldn't work. But because it's so short and so quick, these are really fun. These are really fun. I enjoy them, and I enjoy Braveheart quite a bit. I think probably my favorites of this series remain Waterloo and Gettysburg, but I really, really did enjoy Braveheart as well. Another great, great book war game from Worthington. So recommendation for the discriminating gamer for Braveheart Solitaire 2nd Edition is buy it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you so much for joining us today. Please, please, please subscribe to our channel here. Please leave a comment. Please check us out on YouTube, on Twitter. Talk to us there as well. We'd love to hear what you have to say. And please, please check out my other channel. That is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about, military history, books on history. I post some of my lectures up there. Please check that out. Please subscribe to that channel as well. That means a lot to me. And, of course, give a thumb to this video on Board Game Geek as well. Here's another interesting kind of philosophical question. Why did the bagpipe player cross the road? I thought as I was accelerating. Please somebody help me on my feet again.